Your unique story, our global audience. Global One Media.
Welcome to Global One Media's Stocks to Watch. This is your opportunity, investors, to hear from senior leaders of public companies. I'm your host, Michelle Martin. Today, we look at the oil and natural gas company, Marksmen Energy. Their focus on the development and identification of light oil assets in Ohio and are bringing technology to explore previously overlooked sites to unlock the potential for an historic region. They're listed on the TSXV as MAH, and they trade on the OTCQB as MKSEF. Joining us today from Marksmen Energy is Archie Nesbitt, Chairman and CEO, and Director Peter Weichler. And gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Archie, I'm going to start with you. Your exploration work is progressing steadily in Ohio, and I understand that you have some updates to share with investors. You've made a significant discovery in a well where you hold a 100% working interest. This is within one of your projects in Ohio. What can you tell us about this discovery?
Well, it is a very exciting discovery. It's a discovery. It's something we didn't expect when we actually drilled the well. We did anticipate that there was the possibility of the discovery in this new formation that we weren't drilling for, but it was a very significant discovery. The drillers weren't ready. The well actually blew out, just like the movies, the old movies, the oil blows out. And we were lucky. We were in a depressed area in this field, and we were able to recover hundreds of barrels of oil that migrated into our pits that we had already constructed and lined, and the cleanup was really nothing because of the geography of the location. But it was a very significant discovery. Whenever you get that massive power of oil coming to surface, there is a concern, but there's also the excitement of having that discovery. And so this is a new formation. It wasn't what we were drilling for, and it was very exciting for us to get this discovery, and we were able to drill ahead to our target formation with a lot of heavy drilling fluid, which we used to hold back the oil and gas that was coming to surface from this discovery. We drilled ahead, and then we put the discovery behind pipe. We cased the well and finished drilling the well to our target depth. But now we have this major new discovery, which opens the door for so much for us in this part of Ohio because of additional wells, new discoveries, and bigger reservoirs.
What an incredible and dramatic progress stage, so to speak, to be at. Archie, can you share with us more information about this particular project and the reservoir that you are targeting? What is the size of this reservoir?
Well, we went to Ohio about 7-8 years ago to do some geological and engineering studies. And we went for one specific reservoir oil formation, a host rock for oil reservoirs, because the largest oil field in the world was in Ohio, and it was in this formation, and they produced 1 billion barrels of oil equivalent. From the 1800s, when that discovery was made by Rockefeller and his people, and then Standard Oil, they found a number of other oil fields in this same type of formation. And it's a very unique formation that you need to look for with geophysics. And so they've got some of these fields, 100 million barrels, some 150 million barrels of recoverable oil, some 10 million. And there's one smaller one that was found that's about 5 million. So when we went to Ohio, we said, well, we're going to go down, take new science, but we're also going to look for these elephant-sized oil reservoirs. And now we've got one. Now we've drilled into one, not totally by accident, but it is a new discovery. We didn't expect to get it in this well, but it opens now the door for us to develop and drill one of these very potentially significant and large oil reservoirs that's on our leases.
Incredible. Peter, I want to come to you now. You're a non-technical director of Marksmen. Why are you involved in this business?
Well, I've got a financial background as a broker and a banker, and I look at different situations, but I got involved here for 3 prime reasons. I know Ohio has oil. And I know that you have a way better chance of finding oil in proven areas. Ohio has a long history, and that's why Marksmen's here. The second thing is persistence. Thanks to Archie and his management team, they've got a wealth of science that they've developed, and they've got a lot of good relationships they've developed over the years, and now they're going to use them. And I think it'll prove very well for this company. But the big thing now is we've got a discovery. We've got a fault which is providing an incredible opportunity for this company and its stakeholders. And I think everyone involved in this company now is going to benefit.
I want to dig a little deeper into this fault, so to speak. Can you provide some insights, Archie, into the history of this particular rock formation?
Yeah, it's the fact is there's still an ocean out there, the Atlantic, and it used to be much bigger and cover the continent. So you get fracture systems in the rock, and these fracture systems run hundreds and hundreds of miles, and the fluids migrate into those voids and those fractures and migrate up dip. They get forced up dip, and at the very end you get the gas, and then the oil, and then you get water. So Ohio is blessed with the Appalachian Arch on the west side, and that's the top. It comes right to surface, and then from there to the existing Atlantic Ocean, you have these fractures that continue to feed these fluids and the oil and the gas, and so, history, like I said, is proven. There's these elephant-sized oil reservoirs there close to surface. And history also shows that Ohio has 400,000 wildcat wells, so they never used any science. They just drilled. No science, no seismic, nothing. The boys just drilled because they had drills. And so we said, modern science, bringing modern science to Ohio, we'll take advantage of that, and that's really what we're doing. So you need to do your seismic, and with the seismic, you can see these potential oil reservoirs. We have 3-dimensional seismic, the most precise seismic in the world on this reservoir, and that's why we were always thinking that we might have one of these very significant oil reservoirs. But we were focusing on another discovery, another formation, where we were drilling that off, completing the development of that, and we hit this discovery. So we have it on 3D seismic. We have it on our leases. We knew it was there, and now it's opened the door for us for developing potentially a major oil field.
I think what's so interesting is how you mentioned this is an historic site. I read how farmers used to try to plow around the oil that they'd hit into because they regarded it as a major inconvenience. And you're bringing modern technology to the site to unlock the value. You mentioned 3D seismic data, and I know you've been relying on 2D and 3D data for a while, pursuing a real data-driven approach. Has this approach yielded any additional value so far? Of course, today we're talking about this incredible discovery, but overall, can you talk to us about the value of 3D seismic data and what you've seen so far?
Yeah, we have a team now of technical people in Ohio. 3 of them have Masters of Science degrees in geology and engineering. And our geophysicist, he's a member of the Hall of Fame. And he's found half the oil reserves in one formation that we're exploiting in southern Ohio. He's found half the reserves in Ohio in that formation. So that has all come together in the last year. And with that, our group now, because of our new team that we've built, we have access to 40 square miles of 3D seismic, and that's just unheard of. So with the team, with the seismic, with our expertise in drilling these oil fields that we've developed in the last 5 to 6 years, we have the ability to look at this 3D seismic and say, we're going to drill in this exact location, and that is the top, thickest, most productive part of the oil reservoir. You see it precisely, you see it accurately, and you don't miss it. You dead center the best of the best. So that's what we have, and we have probably 100 drill locations ahead of us for the next few years. And now it's our objective, with the help of a lot of professionals, and including Peter, who's joined our board and our company several years ago to bring his expertise, but we're going to exploit those opportunities.
You've mentioned the expertise. Talk to me about the drilling opportunities. Will Marksmen have more of these drilling opportunities given its leases to develop the reservoir?
Yes. I mean, our focus is discovery, and we have tens of potential oil fields, new ones to drill. And each we will focus on a discovery and then developing those oil fields. But with our team and our 40 square miles of 3D seismic and our projects and the studies we've done on some of these old wildcat oil fields just say, well, based on the studies we've done and the seismic we've done, they should have drilled a well here in between those two wells that came on at 800 or 1,000 barrels a day. So we have some awfully exciting opportunities like that where for example, we're going to drill between two old wells that started production at 800 plus barrels a day. And that's for these cheap vertical wells, conventional wells, that's an enormous well, a company making well. And we have several company making projects in our portfolio to drill in the next couple of years.
It is an impressive portfolio. Investors are always looking to margins. Can you talk to us about any operational challenges so far associated with extracting oil from this particular reservoir? And if so, how you are addressing them?
United States of America is an awfully powerful, great country, free enterprise country. We couldn't be in a safer jurisdiction, a more pro-business jurisdiction than Ohio and the United States. We don't have any foreign risks of some Africa or something like that. We have the best of the best. We have the most talented men in the world, in technically masters of science, geologists with experience and engineers with experience. And we just went into an environment where there was no capital. It's all families. 8,000 families own the oil and gas rights. And so Marksmen wants to be number one in conventional drilling in Ohio. We have access to capital, which they don't. They need money from us. They need our involvement to exploit their projects. Most of them, or all of them, have no money at all whatsoever for seismic, whether it's 2D or 3D, and 3D is more expensive. So our objective is to take everything we've got now that we've put in place in the last several years, and we put a lot in place last year with our new projects and our new team. And so our objective is to exploit that aggressively and be number one in Ohio.
Peter, I wonder if you can chime in on this one and share with us the current timeline for drilling or operations for the rest of 2023.
We're moving ahead very quickly. We're in the midst of a small fundraising that's going to help us with some of our working capital requirements. But most importantly, we're defining the time when we're bringing in a rig to go in here and test this. I know there is one little thing that Archie needs to complete in Ohio. That's not going to stop us. That's going ahead. We're adding to our relationships. We're solidifying them because we see a big horizon of development. And I think that's the most important thing for any investor to look at. It's not just one well wonder. We've got a lot of potential and we're tying it in.
Not just a one well wonder. I really like that one. Peter, maybe you can wrap it all up for the investors who are watching intently. What do the discoveries so far mean for Marksmen shareholders, both existing and prospective?
Well, I can only say excitement. When you've got a stock that's not, in a market that's fairly dismal, it's a real opportunity on that side. But when you've got a potential like this fault and this discovery has, look out. This is something everybody should be looking at very closely. Then take a look at the global market for energy, especially oil, in a regime that gives us no barriers. Ohio is fantastic. They have more than one source of sale. They come right to the wellhead. They pick up the oil. We got a premium for this oil. And the other thing is, we hate to overuse it, but this is the purest oil you get. This is 42-degree green colored oil. We actually have green oil. Anyways, it's exciting in all sorts of ways.
The color of money itself. Really interesting. Archie, I'll let you have the final word in terms of where you are. What do you want investors to keep front of mind about Marksmen Energy?
Well, a lot of us are in the market and looking at things, and the market, as Peter said, is tough. But oil is vibrant. It's not going to go away. Our oil, as Peter said, it's specialty oil. It's the refineries are after us trying to buy our oil. They come to our wells and buy our oil at our wells and pay us at our wells. That we don't have to transport it anyway because it's Pennsylvania grade 42 API oil, and it is green. So it's a lot of wonderful things and wonderful opportunity. And when you have the team and the best team there is, say in Ohio, probably, I believe that it's the best team in Ohio technically, and you have the experts in a company like ours. And the one thing we didn't mention is everybody in this company has skin in the game. We've all invested in this company. So we think of this company as shareholders, not as management with no shares and only after salaries. We think of this company as shareholders, and we've been very successful in the last 30, 40, some people on the board, 50 years creating public companies. So it's a great fit. It's a great opportunity. Oil is a great resource. This oil is a great resource, and the market's down. It's a great investment opportunity for people to look at a stock with the people and the projects and the opportunity and the commodity. And so we believe we've got the story, and so we're going to exploit the story.
Well, I can hear the personal passion, I have to say, and it's really great to hear how the company is, pardon the pun, continuing to make its mark. I've been speaking with Marksmen's director, Peter Weichler, and Archie Nesbitt, the chairman and CEO of Marksmen Energy. Gentlemen, thank you for speaking with me.
Thank you. Our pleasure.
Thank you.